Hello, gamers. It's the Adamantium Ant back once again for the new player guide, and this is episode 3. We're going to cover a few sort of cleanup things, and then we're going to get into some play demonstrations and kind of navigating the UI. I wanted to talk a little bit more about the collection tab as far as reviewing your decks and some of the filters here. We sort of talked about most of them, but you've got this all decks filter here on the collection page, and you can use that to just see when you have all decks, you have all your imported decks that maybe you like. What I do is I bring in decks that I don't have the cards for yet, sort of a wish list, if you will, and I like to hold them here. People offer me deck lists on my stream, or maybe I've imported them from the leaderboard or from another source, a web page or whatever. There's a lot of metagame, things are constantly shifting, so I import decks just to have reference points. So use this. If you go to standard, it's only going to show you your decks that you're actually able to play. Not that all the decks are standard, but your available decks to actually, select. And of course, the same with Singleton. So keep that in mind. All right, let's get straight into the play. There's a few different really important sort of tips and tricks. So I'll go against the AI because I want to demonstrate some things, and I'm going to bring in this deck because I think it'll demonstrate everything we need immediately. All your little doohickeys here are how to set up your board. So if you have your side of the board, I use Hall of Valor because I like it. Guardians are your little pets. I'm using Silverwing, card backs, and the available emotes that you're going to be using. You can drag the ones you want to use. I only have 6, so it's only showing 6. So that's that. That's just sort of cosmetic stuff. And once you get into the game itself, obviously we're loading against AI just to demonstrate things. I don't want to frustrate a human being on the other side of the internet if I'm taking my time, even though during streams I tend to be chatting with chat and taking my time, and occasionally I get the spammer. Usually people that are impatient with you will spam that you're calculating, because that seems to be a good way of getting someone to move faster. If you make fun of their brain functions. All right. This mulligan isn't very important. I'm just trying to actually get spells to demonstrate here. All right, so we've got a burst to fast. We don't have a slow spell yet, but I kind of wanted to show you the pace of the game. Of course, you know all the rules, and I'm not going to go over you've done the tutorials, so I'm not going to go over the individual rules, but there's a few tooltips that I wanted to show you. So over here, you've got your round 1, round 2, sort of, this is your spell as that are cast throughout the game, and this is really helpful if something's happening and you have to read the card and something goes by quickly. Go over here, expand that, and you'll see what the spells are. So I'm just going to cast, I'm going to do this here. They're going to drop an obvious blocker. I'm going to swing. Everything's pretty normal right now, but let's say during the course of the game I forgot what they were playing. I can mouse over my opponent's deck, and I can left click, and it tells me what champions and what region they're from and how many cards are left in their library. So I don't know if it's called a library, their deck, or whatever you want to call it. So that's a good way to, because oftentimes I'll just suddenly realize I have no idea what's happening. So click over that and you can look at now the other cool thing is it shows you the status of their champion, and same for yours. So I can see that Leona already has a trigger on her, or whatever that thing is, the resolution to her level 2, and the others are unpicked. You can also click on it and look at their details. So there's a lot of information here from just clicking over the decks. What they do, everything. So it's great to be able to reference those things. The other thing you can do, well, there's another thing I want to show you. I'm just looking for a specific type of spell. So we're just going to start casting things until we can find... There's a slow spell. Perfect. All right, we got to wait till we get some mana, and then I'll show you another fun tip. There are some settings too. Let me... this is our friends list. That's always available. There are some settings. Enable auto pass and disable motion. I think that would just be... Let's see what that does, actually. Still see motion. I'm not really sure what that is. Let's figure it out. A few random blocks and we'll move on. I don't know what disable motion does. That all looks like it's moving. So we'll pretend we don't know what that is. Enable auto pass, obviously. I think that's fine. Maybe the pros, or I would say something like auto pass is something you want to select manually if you are a high level player, because you don't want the game to just say, I guess you're done. So I would think that was unchecked for most, but I'm too new to the game to tell you. That's just an assumption I'm making. So let's go with that. All right. I don't have the mana to cast my slow spell, so I'm going to hold off. We will just randomly... Maybe it'll be in a fast spell too. Let's see. So I'm going to drop a fast spell down, and I'm going to pick my ally, and then I'm going to think to myself, oh, hold on. So there's my spell. I'm going to try to kill this, but I want to hold on, because if I hit OK, it'll resolve. If I go over here to the Eye of Sauron, I know that's not what it's called. I'm just making things up, but if I go over here and click this, as this is on the... I don't know what this is called. As this is about to resolve before I hit OK, I can look to see what the results will be. And according to this little mouse over, it looks like I will successfully kill this creature. If for some reason there's a more complex board state or a complex series of spells, and I'm really not sure exactly how this is going to work out, I can mouse over it here and see, is this going to do what I think it's going to do? Which is kill me and kill that at the same time. That seems fine. Okay, that's the resolution I want. I can hit OK and resolve it. Or I can drag this back and say, I'm going to do something else this turn. I'm going to cast this instead. What would that do? Heals 5. From who? This? Is that what I want to do? Is this what I want to do? Well, it kind of told me it. Yes, it is. So in that particular case, because I had to select the spell, I didn't really have an opportunity. So be careful how you use that, but it's still pretty interesting that you can usually select targets and then hit OK when the turn ends. That's really the number one tip and trick. We can look over here now that we have spells in here over the course of the game throughout the rounds, and we can go back again, mousing over, checking things out, the sequence things were played in, and what happened. Sometimes that's important. You want to read a card. Oftentimes for me, because I'm so new, I'm like, what was that again? What spell was that? What do I have to collect now? Because that was a fantastic card that I've never seen before. So that's it. I think that's the reasonable tools. Also, if you're getting beat up, or if you are merciful to your opponent and you want to say, you know what, you got this, I'll go ahead and let you win, you can always surrender. Or if you have, Hot Pockets in the microwave and you're trying to get them out, hit that surrender button, go get your Hot Pockets, and move on with your life. And look at that. Even though I'm doing a battle against the AI, I'm still gaining rewards through the reward system. So you are gaining constantly. Even if you're just practicing the game, you are being rewarded for your efforts. Some experience. And look at that. I already have a max vault reward adding up. Sometimes you do have to, let's see. Look at this. Over here, we've got our next PvP win. I get a 400 XP. I can adjust my daily quest. Like I said before, you can always check this screen. Always check anything that's glowing. You can see what you have available. Grand Moments, play a card that costs 6 or more mana. That's a 1500, so we're going to keep that. And chances are I'll be able to do that pretty quickly. Healing is a little bit different. I don't have a lot of decks that do a lot of healing, but so far I've managed to make slight progress. And that's, I think, about it. Now, there's a few other play modes that you can do for those interested. There's labs, which give you sort of an interesting, just interesting optional play modes, something to explore. Tournaments, of course, we already did this. We were able to succeed in a gauntlet, which is pretty fun. There's apparently a 700 last chance gauntlet. The first 324 to achieve prime glory. Oh, so I think I only got one. Maybe you need to have all 5. I'm not really exactly sure. Oh, I did this. I guess I should read the rules and prizes on that website, so I can do that on my own time. Each open in 2 days. Standard gauntlet, pick and ban. Gauntlet is closed. It's open in 2 days. Expeditions are really fun, and that's something that I'll probably do another video on. Alright, so we'll wrap this up. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed and got something out of it. If you're a brand new player and you want to come by my live stream, link is below. Expand the description. Find the link to my stream. If you don't mind, give me a follow there, and then you can hopefully get notified. Twitch sometimes notifies, sometimes it doesn't, but you can always check my schedule in the Twitch channel. In the panels below, there's a Google schedule which will give you all of my next time streaming. Hopefully we can catch each other there. If you have any questions or additional information that you need, you can always ask on the live stream. I like doing interactive sort of help for new players. And if you're an expert player and you'd like to come into my stream and give me tips that I did not cover in these videos, that would be awesome too. Appreciate everyone, and we'll see you next time.